So I want to hear from you on this next question. Please listen carefully to the way the question is worded. What is the one emotion you feel the most when you see President Trump on TV or on your device? Now, I'm not asking what emotion he's displaying, whether he looks happy or sad or anything like that. I'm asking, what emotion does he evoke in you? How does he make you feel when you see him on TV or on your device? In other words, fill in the blank. When I see President Trump on TV, I feel fill in the blank. Everybody got it? Looking for a word or a phrase. When I see Trump on TV, I feel. Everybody have a verb, an adjective for me or a phrase?
Excited.
Hang on a second. I'm going to call on you. I just want to make sure everybody has. Y'all have one?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all do. Okay, so I want to make sure everybody's got one in mind. All right, Charles, go first.
Excited.
Excited. Okay. Denzel.
Frustrated.
Thomas.
Motivated.
Makes you feel motivated.
Yeah.
All right, Marlon.
Comedic. That's a word.
So he makes. So what? So he's comedic, but how do you feel when you see him?
Silly, I guess.
Okay, makes you feel silly.
Affable. Yeah, somewhat entertaining. I mean,
no, I know this is a little. I'm pushing him, Marlon.
No, sorry.
Yeah, so I know he is entertaining, and then you know he might feel he's Apple. But how does that make you feel when you see him that way?
Make me feel silly. Like I don't know.
Like he makes you laugh, that kind of thing.
Say again.
Like he makes you laugh, that kind of thing.
Yeah, he make me laugh. Yeah.
Right, okay. Yeah. Great. Just want to make sure I was understanding that correctly.
Oh no problem.
Good. No, great. Okay. No. Jeffrey, how about you?
Concerned.
Charles. You gave me one, Charles. I'm sorry. Doris.
I want to say interested. Like want to see what he did. Like interested. Like what happened.
Okay, so I kind of
inquiring, sort of.
Like curious, Doris?
Yes, curious.
Okay, got it. Antonio, we muted you. We need you to unmute. Antonio, we muted you.
Well, it makes me feel like maybe he can. I don't think one person can straighten it out, but maybe bring some kind of organization, in the to the government,
No, but
I'm looking for it's unorganized before he the other guy. Huh?
Yeah, Antonio, I'm sorry.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can. Well, I'm looking for a word. I mean, an emotion that you feel when you see him.
Oh, for a word. Okay. Organized.
Okay, but you're describing what he would do is just to organize things, right?
Yes, bring some organization.
Yeah, I understand. But how does that make you feel?
Oh, it makes me feel. Oh, how it makes me feel? Make me feel like maybe he can kind of straighten stuff out a little bit, because to me it was chaos.
Give me I understand all of that, Antonio. I'm pushing back again. What emotion do you feel inside of your body when you see him?
I really don't feel anything. I mean, I really don't feel no one way or the other personally.
Okay, got it. Thank you. All right. So all of you voted for President Trump in the last election. I'm going to call on you one at a time. And this time I want to know why you chose him in November over Kamala Harris. Okay. Jeffrey, why did you choose Trump over Kamala Harris?
I thought he may do a better job with inflation and definitely with immigration.
Doris?
Better businessman.
Okay. Marlon?
More believable.
Charles?
I think it's his experience, having been in the White House before. I think that his experience that he had in the past, as number 45, he got a head start. You know, he don't have to learn much. He knows how things go. He knows how things move. You know, so they gave him a head start, and you know, we know what to expect. What to expect from him. You know, there's no guessing.
Got it. Antonio? Antonio, just so you know, we're keeping you muted because it seems to be your computer that's generating the feedback. So anytime you want to speak, just unmute.
Okay. The reason why I voted for him is because I thought he brings some organization. I thought a lot of things were lacking: inflation, immigration. So that's why I voted for him.
Okay. Denzel?
Improve unemployment rates, and then I think better possibility to inject energy into the economy.
Thomas?
I felt that he would make the economy great again, and it would be an increase in jobs and opportunities, and also saving the country money.
Okay. So I want to call on you again for this next one. I want to hear from all of you. Please give me a word or phrase to describe President Trump's first 2 months in office. What have these first 2 months been like? Give me in a word or a phrase. Let me call on you first. Don't blurt it out. I want to make sure everybody has one in mind first. Everybody have one? You do? Denzel, give me one.
You may push back, I don't know, but I would say loud.
I'm not pushing back at all. I just want to make sure it's answering the question I'm asking. That's all.
Yep.
Okay.
Because I don't know if that one answers enough, but I would say loud.
All right. That's fine. Jeffrey?
Fast moving, quick. Yes.
Doris?
Say satisfied.
Satisfying, you said?
Satisfied.
Thomas?
Going in the right direction.
I would say chaotic.
Marlon?
Excited.
Charles?
Great job.
Antonio?
I would say great. It's been good. It's been good. He's been cleaning the house. He's been doing what he's supposed to be doing. You know, it's been a long time coming.
Okay. By a show of fingers, who would say that you're surprised by how the first 2 months have unfolded? Who's surprised by how the first 2 months have unfolded? Denzel, Thomas, Marlon, and Charles. So 4 of you are surprised. All right. Charles, what surprised you?
He's exceeded my expectations. That's why I'm surprised. It's not because I think he's doing a bad job. I think he's exceeded my expectations. That's why. Hope I'm answering your question.
Yeah, if you're not, I will tell all of you, as you can already see. If you're not answering my question, I'm going to be right on you. So, but you guys are doing a phenomenal job. Okay, just want to let you know, phenomenal. So, Charles, just spend a second. In what way has he exceeded your expectation?
I was not prepared for all of these cuts so soon, you know. And I think it's good. I think it's good for our government. I think it's good for the people.
Okay, great. I'm going to get to the other three of you who raised your finger on that. Marlon, I have a request from the peanut gallery. Can you have a light you could turn on in the room?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Is that better?
That is better. Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. We didn't want to not be able to see you as well as we should.
Yeah, it's getting dark out here.
Yeah. So, Marlon, go ahead. What has surprised you about the first 2 months?
Oh, as Charles was saying, as far as these job cuts, and he's starting with the IRS as far as with how that situation going. He's kind of shaking things up a bit already. There's a lot of people, as far as United States go, as far as, employment wise. I mean, he got a lot of people shook up. So we're gonna see how this goes.
Okay. Thank you. Thomas, what surprised you?
The amount of layoffs and firing of people. Many of those folks have livelihoods, and many of them been enrolled in employment. I can see having them to come back into the office, but to lay them off and give them a deadline on deciding their future with their jobs that they've been on for a while, that bothers me, because that's affecting people's livelihood in there, and jobs are scarce right now. There are some companies that are hiring, there are other folks that are taking, months and years to get a new job. So it puts people in a very tough position.
Okay. Denzel, what surprised you?
I think, yeah, just the speed in which I think things have progressed. I'm in my mid-30s. So I've been through a decent handful of elections, and I feel like this is the quickest that I've seen change in any of the first 90 days for any president, in my opinion.
Okay. I'll give you a moment each to think about this next question before you answer it. I'm going to call on you again. What's the most recent action you've heard about that President Trump has taken since the inauguration? What's the most recent action he's taken? Y'all have one? Okay. Antonio, what's yours?
Mine is the layoffs. That was kind of shocking to me. I mean, usually in government, people, it's like, you got a government job, people kind of get kind of like start, laying back or whatever. Man, the way he came in, man, and did what he did, that was surprising to me. So
That's the most recent thing that he's done that you can think of.
yeah.
Okay, got it. Doris.
We'll say the tariffs. A lot of countries have been overcharging us for years, and he's making things even or better for us.
Got it. Jeffrey.
I think most recently today, with that leak of the intelligence people talking, I think he authorized to drop bombs. I think it's Yemen, or I could be wrong, but he authorized to drop bombs on the site.
Okay. Charles.
DOE, Department of Education, shutting that down and saving us $10 million a year.
Marlon.
This immigrant situation. He's getting ISIS out here, and excuse me. He getting them out here, and he moving them out quick.
Okay.
If that's the answer.
Got it. All right. Thomas.
I would say the DOE, they are actually, government jobs, that several of some of the agencies are now allowing employees to come back to work that were laid off or fired recently. So that was the latest thing that I heard actually today, which is, really good.
All right. Denzel?
I say the back and forth with the imposed tariffs of different countries. Specifically, I know the battle back and forth with Trudeau in Canada.
Okay. I'd like to know whether, on balance, you approve or disapprove of what the new administration has done since it took over. So by a show of fingers, who approves what the new administration has done since it took over? On balance, approves. So hold on a second. I've got Thomas, Marlon, Charles, Antonio, and Doris, 5 of you, right? Denzel and Jeffrey not. Am I hearing that right? Okay. All right. I've heard some of this already, so you keep your comments short because you've already said things that indicates kind of what you approve and disapprove of. But Marlon, why do you approve?
I approve because he's weeding out a lot of things that the other I would say Biden and Kamala Harris disrupted in this United States. There's a lot of things. It's going to be a tough job for him in the Trump administration as a whole. But I'm just willing to wait and see what goes forth from now.
Okay. Thomas, why do you approve?
I believe that he's getting rid of the clutter and things that have been there for a long period of time. And he's just cleaning house. But there's a way to do it. And so I don't 100% agree totally how he's cleaning house, but there are some areas that need to be improved within the government. And so I think he's really taken a big dumpster and just weeding out every single thing that's out there that's causing clutter.
Got it. Okay. Charles, why do you approve?
I love the way, I appreciate the way he goes against the grain. In other words, not being so political and, just doing it how he wants to do it, I appreciate that.
Doris?
Well, I expected him to be aggressive in a lot of different areas, and he's doing exactly that. Being aggressive in a lot of different areas of focus that concerns like the U.S. citizens. And he's aggressively, every few days you're hearing something different, and you're constantly seeing him at work, working, getting stuff done. So that's why I approve.
Okay. Antonio, what about you?
I think about my mind just went blank. Like I said, these 90 days, I think for his administration has been good. I think that he's been doing what they're supposed to be doing. Being the president, I thought the last administration they just started off the bat wrong. I think with the inflation problem. So I think Trump is, he from what I see, he's trying to tackle stuff head on. It needs to be done because, like, in my opinion, you got other countries too you're competing with. You can't just be, you got to hit them head on because it's competition with other countries, in my opinion. So we need, this country needs good leadership to compete in the world stage. That in my opinion, at this time.
Jeffrey, tell me why you disapprove.
I disapprove of the way he's handled the firings of government employees. Firing public sector versus the private sector are two different animals. In my opinion, he should have gone in with a scalpel instead of a blowtorch. So there are different ways to handle that. I mean, you're sure you want to weed out the bad people. There probably are bad people, but you want to keep good employees that are there. Henceforth, he has to go back and hire or bring folks back in that he just went out and fired for no particular reason, saying, some people you say he fired because of poor job performance, but they didn't even review their job performance record. So it's just wholesale firing of folks and the judge slapping them on the wrist and saying, no, that's not how you do it, bring those folks back. So I disapprove on how he's handling government employees.
Okay. Denzel, why do you disapprove?
Yeah, a little bit with Jeffrey with the handling of like a wholesale change immediately. I think I kind of almost want to wait to see what these outcomes look like. Also, a little questioning in terms of not specifically the DOE, but what does education look like moving forward? I know there's been a lot of grants and funding cut to secondary education, and then what does K through 12 continue to look like specifically for middle class, urban communities and that sort of thing. So are they still going to be disadvantaged as they were in the past? So that's kind of one of my concerns.
Okay. So this is a question just for you, Denzel, and you, Jeffrey. And I want to ask this question thoughtfully. You disapprove of how things have gone so far, and some might say about you, well, these gentlemen put Trump back into office, knowing full well how he governed the last time. They carry some of the responsibility if they're not happy now. They can't claim they didn't know what they were getting. How would you respond to that? Either of you can go first.
Well, I knew that he does his own thing, but it's just certain ways you go about it to get it done. I know he's always been his own person, sure. There hasn't been a president that I voted for that I agree totally with everything that he or she does. So I get it.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's definitely never been a president that I agree with everything. But I will say, I think the tariff situation was something that, with some of our specific nearby allies, was something that I didn't think was on the front end of what we were looking to do. And I just don't think our country's at the level of production to be able to rely internally without some of these other individuals. So I think it's obviously very still early, but I think there are pros with him and there's cons with him, just like any other president. And I think two of the ones that I'm just frustrated with, obviously, now is just the movement within government positions, staffing, etc.
Okay. So knowing what you know right now, how many of you would not vote for Trump if you could do it over again? How many of you would not vote for Trump if you could do it over again? Thomas and Jeffrey. Okay, so Denzel, you would.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, so hang on a second, Thomas. You said you approve of Trump. You were in that group of 5 who said you approved. Why wouldn't you vote for him again?
I think he went in with his, of course, I knew he had an agenda, but the way he's done things, I don't totally agree with. Some things I agree with and some things I don't. So I'm kind of like, in the middle of the road with them. But I believe that what really hits home with me is the layoffs and the people in federal government losing their jobs, the DOE, they shutting that down. It's just a lot that he's really affecting the people of America and their livelihood. And, my heart goes out to those folks. I mean, I was in their position at one point in time in my career. And so having to go out and find a job, and you being told the moment that he get into the office that you have such amount of time, like a week or two to make a decision whether you're going to stay on the job or you're going to come back to the office or you take a severance package. That happens a lot with a lot of companies at the first of the year.
Thomas, I'm going to cut you off. It's just in the interest of time. I thank you for. I heard the part that I was expecting that you might talk about.
Sure.
So pardon me for cutting you off. So just to be clear, Thomas, you wouldn't vote for Trump again. Would you vote for Harris?
I have mixed emotions about that. think
All right.
she should have been campaigning a long time ago before, just for
I-
two or 3 months.
Got it. But given the chance to redo your vote, would you vote for her?
I probably would.
Okay. Jeffrey, what about you?
Yeah, that's a tough question. I can't remember. Maybe you can help me. Was there a third party running? Probably would have voted for Kamala.
You probably would have. Okay. Got it. Okay. I'm going to ask this question of all 7 of you. And think about it for a second. If you could ask President Trump any question, what would you ask him? I'll call on you one at a time. Anybody need another second? You guys all got one? All right. Antonio, go first.
I would ask him, about immigration. I mean, what are they gonna do about immigration? Because I think that it needs some type of law and some kind of order and law and order. Because it seems like it's just anybody can show up when they feel like it.
Yeah, sorry. Just give me the question. Okay. Doris, go ahead. What's your question?
I would ask him, how soon is he said he was sending every American $5,000. How soon are we getting that 5,000?
Okay. Charles?
I'm a very curious guy, and I will walk up to the commander in chief and ask him, "What's in your wallet, sir?" I would want to know what he's carrying in his pockets.
All right. All right. Jeffrey?
I would ask him, why is he so hell-bent on his stance against DEI?
Okay. Marlon?
You, but all right, one. Small business loans. Can you take care of us? Like, can you take care of the little man? Cut some taxes, something for the small businesses. Give us some grants and loans.
Okay. Thomas?
Where's my check?
Denzel?
I would say with the removal of DOE, what is this 6 and 12-month plan for K through 12 education? What does it look like?
Okay. Got it. I just want to just circle back to this where's my check thing that Thomas, you referenced. Did you guys, any of you vote for him thinking he was going to send you a check?
No,
No, not at all.
but
All
it's being talked about. So
Right.
that's where it comes from.
Okay.
And when he was in office before, we got the stimulus check.
Right.
And so it's kind of expected because it's been talked about. So that's where I'm coming from with it.
Okay. My job is to just check on some of this stuff. So please know.
And also it was just mentioned about the IRS, they giving an increase in, returns on taxes.
Right.
So that's another thing.
Let's see that.
Got it. By a show of fingers, would any of you describe President Trump as trying to do too much at once and not as focused as he should be on the core issues that matter most to you? If you describe him that way, Denzel would, Thomas would, Marlon would. Okay. So Denzel, what do you want him to be focused on versus what is he actually focused on?
Yeah, I think that's where it came in with me being loud. My concern is it too much at one point in time. I think dwindling down the amount of administration and jobs and everything like that, I think in a smaller scale is something that is important. And for me, I think education. And I mean, granted, I guess he is focused on it by removing DOE, but what's in its place. Is it just a cut to save the money and there's no replacement? So I think those are the two things I really want focus and effort on.
Okay, and what is he focused on?
I would say those, along with I think immigration is one of the big things for him. I think ICE came in within days after and started to remove undocumented and getting people back across borders. So I think those things I mentioned, plus immigration, plus tariffs and importing and exporting.
You know what? I guess
Oh, sorry.
you're answering my question, but it's my fault. I asked it poorly. Fill in the blank. He's supposed to be focused on X, but instead he's focused too much on Y. What are X and Y?
I would say he's supposed to be focused on, I guess for me, I'd say education, but focused on immigration.
Okay, so he's too focused on immigration.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Marlon, help me.
I would say he should be focusing more on giving a better United States as far as jobs, and stop laying a whole bunch of people off. We need better education and more jobs. I think he's still. I know, as far as immigration wise, he's focusing on like major. It's major. It's definitely major. I'm not saying nothing is not, but you can kill two birds with one stone.
Got it.
You still can focus and still not let the people of the United States, especially the ones who voted for you, down. We need education, and we need to look out for these children as much as possible.
Got it. Thank you. Thomas.
I think he's too focused on cutting the weeds and clutter, but he needs to focus on the economy and how to help people versus those that are struggling, to try to make it. So I think the economy right now is in a position where they're hurting and they need help.
Got it. Please listen carefully to this next question. What is the one emotion that you feel the most when you see President Trump on TV or on your device? I'm not asking what emotion he is displaying, whether he looks happy or sad or whatever it is. That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking, what emotion does he evoke in you? How does he make you feel when you see him on TV? In other words, fill in the blank. When I see Trump on TV, I feel X. What is X? Everybody got the assignment?
Yes.
All right. So stop and think about it. I'm looking for an adjective, a word, or a phrase to describe how you feel when you see him on TV. Everybody got one in mind?
Yes.
You do?
Yes. You ready?
Yeah. Kasi, you have one?
Not really, but I'll say confident.
He makes you feel confident.
So wait, this is what he makes me feel?
Yes. What emotion are you feeling when you see him? Fill in the blank. When I see Trump on TV, I feel.
I'll leave it at confident.
Okay. He does make you feel confident?
In a sense of what he's saying that he's going to do, but you said not based on what he's displaying.
Yeah. Set aside whatever he looks like at the moment. You're flipping channels, you see him on TV, and you go, oh, and you're feeling something. What are you feeling? He's making you feel what?
I can't say that he makes me feel anything, to be honest with you.
Okay. Perfectly fine. All right. Ilya, how does he make you feel?
I would say hopeful.
Okay. Paul?
Excited.
Garland?
Content.
All right. Joel?
Oh, that's
Excited.
Excited. Okay. So all of you voted for President Trump in the last election. I'm going to call on you one at a time. And this time I want to know why you chose him in November over Kamala Harris. Everybody know? I'm sure you all know why you feel like you voted for him. So Joel, why don't you start?
For me, he's a man's man. He says what he's going to do and does what he says.
Okay. Garland, what about you?
I believed him way more than I believed anything that Kamala Harris said.
Okay. Paul?
I voted for him because he's actually making changes. He's not going to get up there and say he's going to do something and don't do it. He's a man of his word. He's going to put a lot of things to action, and he does that.
Okay. Ilya?
I experienced life under him as president, and I experienced life under Kamala Harris as vice president. Based on her answers to a lot of questions, they never changed. They were always the same her entire campaign. So I didn't know who she was or where she was from. At least I could identify with him.
Okay. Kasim?
I would pretty much echo what everybody else already said, and add that I feel like Kamala was trying to sell me an image versus just Trump just being who he is, like him or don't.
Okay. Great. Next question. I'll call on you again. Give me a word or a phrase to describe President Trump's first 2 months in office.
Me?
Any, I'm going to call on all of you, but
You said a word or a phrase?
word or a phrase to describe his first 2 months in office.
Fiery.
All right. Paul, what would you say?
Fearless.
Ilya?
It's been a wild ride so far.
Garland?
Entertaining.
Joel?
Fearless.
Okay. And by a show of fingers, who would say that you're surprised by how the first 2 months have unfolded?
Surprised?
Surprised by how it has unfolded. First 2 months. None of you. Ilya, would you say you're surprised or not?
Kind of, sort of surprised, but kind of like expected it, but like hoped it wouldn't go to a certain extent, maybe.
Okay, so what exactly has surprised you?
I mean, I figured that we would try or some type of way go to war with like Iran or even the Houthis, but I didn't like see it happening this soon. So that was surprising.
Okay. So I'd like to give you a moment just to think about this before you answer it. I'll call on you again. What's the most recent action you've heard about that President Trump has taken since his January 20th inauguration? Everybody got one in mind?
Say it again. Say the question again.
Sure, of course. What's the most recent action you've heard about that President Trump has taken since his inauguration? Hang on a second. Let's make sure everybody has one first. Everybody got one?
Is it his particularly or his administration? Like, how are we framing it?
It's him or the administration. That's fine. So everybody got one?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Garland, go first.
Him, what is it? Abolishing the Department of Education.
Okay. Paul?
That's a toss-up because he's done a lot.
It's like most recent one. What's the most recent one you can think of?
Just the tariffs on Canada and telling them that we don't need y'all.
Okay.
We can do everything on our
own. Joel?
Shoot, I lost my train of thought right there. I had it.
I can come back to you. That's fine.
Yeah, I just had it.
Ilya?
I would say probably like airstrikes in the Middle East.
Okay.
Oh, I got it.
Go ahead, Joel.
It's doing the woke, getting rid of wokeness in sports.
Okay. Kasim?
The the deal with Ukraine and Russia to cease the fire over there.
Okay, got it. So I'd like to know whether, on balance, you approve or disapprove of what the new administration has done since it took over January 20th. So by a show of fingers, who approves? Hasim, I can't see your finger. Is it up or is it? It is. Okay, so all 5 of you approve. Let me start with you, Kasim. Why do you approve?
I mean, as we've been stating, it's been 2 months. I forget the gentleman's name that said it, but a lot has been done thus far. And still got pretty much 4 more years to go. So a lot of the stuff that he said he was going to do, he's already gotten done.
Okay. Paul?
Pretty much following what he just said. Trump is a man of change, and when he said he's going to do something, he's going to do it. And we just have to sit back and follow suit and see what's going to happen. And he's trying to change the past, and that's what we needed, not to keep going along with what the Democrats put out here for us. No, not happening.
Okay. Garland, what about you?
I guess because I don't see anything going wrong. Simple as that.
Okay. Ilya?
I say he said he's gonna do some things. He did a lot of things. Whether it actually happens exactly how he wanted to happen or not, at least he tried and actually did something. So that's more I can say about the Democrats probably ever.
Okay. Joel?
Running the country like a business.
Yeah.
Got it. So knowing what you know now, how many of you would not vote for Trump if you could do it over again? I'll take that as a 0.
Mm-hmm.
This next one I want you to stop and think about for a minute. If you could ask President Trump any question, what would you ask him?
Oh, I got that one.
Don't blur it out yet, Joel. I want everybody to stop and think about it. Y'all got one? Okay. Garland, you have one?
Not at all.
Really? Nothing. You get 5 minutes with the president. Ask him any question. You don't have a question for him?
Right. I'll probably be stuck because I wouldn't know where to start. Like it's so much going on. Like and to pinpoint it down to one question. Hopefully you come back to me.
All right, I'll come back to you. Joel, so what's your question?
My question would be, bring back home ec and economics into the school system.
It's good news.
And the question would be, would he favor it?
Pardon me?
So your question would be, would he favor it?
I would want him to do it.
But I'm asking what. But
okay, I'm sorry.
This wouldn't be a request question. This would be a question of. You can ask him any question. Like, what question would you ask him?
I would ask him, could you bring back home ec and economics into the school system?
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Sorry about that.
No, that's right. That's fine. Just like Jeopardy, pose it in the form of a question. Hasim, what's your question?
Just off the top of my head, I would ask, when are when the gas prices gonna go down? When the stuff gonna start going down? When we gonna see the effects of this economy changing?
All right. Ilya, what about you?
Mine would be probably more so of do he see Palestine being a state in, I guess, at any point during his presidency?
Okay. Paul?
My question to him would be, why would veterans that served in the military have to fight for benefits when we put our life on the line for this country? And why would we even have to register to get a CCW, carrying a concealed weapon, when it's on our DD-214? And if we can put our life on the line to look out for this country, we can't look out for ourselves when we come home. It's pathetic. And I would ask him, why is that law like that?
Okay. Thank you. Garland, you have a question?
Yeah, I would like to know, how does he honestly feel about the crime and the politics in my city?
Okay. Got it.
Can I say something real quick?
Super fast, yeah.
Hey, I'm from Flint, so I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I'm from Flint, so I moved to Atlanta 24 years ago.
yeah, honestly, no.
Yep. Hey,
Yeah.
Garland, can I mind asking you just to sit up a bit, because we're gonna be video footage a little bit, so just don't want to lose you. Thank you. So by a show of fingers, would any of you describe President Trump as trying to do too much at once and not as focused as he should be on the core issues that matter most to you? Any of you describe him that way?
Say that
No?
again.
I don't.
Would you describe President Trump as trying to do too much at once and not as focused as he should be on the core issues that matter the most to you? No? Okay.